There is a clear and present danger. Exactly.
None of us are likely to forget the last time on
Makes you wonder
who's
who's
out
in
there
the
pushing to get the best of them. So are you
Ah!
United Nations Resolution 3507?
You have our lawyers down there, don't you?
Lies. Peppers. I can't believe how they're spinning this.
All essential personnel be advised. City-wide curfew is in effect.
Goddamn fearmongers and death peddlers.
Caution when venturing out into the streets on your own.
Can you hear me? You have to come quick. He's here.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. The apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria.
Understand we are trying to stop terrorists here. I understand that, but I have agents. Wait, hang on.
You know what I heard? He got captured, escaped, and sneaked his way out of a heavily guarded facility. That's his idea of a recon.
That's Jensen. He's a hands-on kind of guy.
He's also got a bit of a problem.
Anomaly detected.
So what?
Access denied.
Were there, but he got out with the intel we needed. Mission accomplished.
Allegedly perpetrated by masses of augmented and functional systems, unexpected death and possible the riots have taken that a repeat of the all incident many citizens are now demanding the United States
Access granted.
expedite their decision on Resolution 3507, the Human Restoration Act. If passed, it will mandate the worldwide removal or downgrading of augmentations, making mechanically augmented people.
We send our guys to the wrong target and we expose ourselves to the enemy.
Peterson pulled his ID off the train station video. I guess that's the point of secrecy, isn't it?
Can you hear me? You have to come quick. He's here.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. The apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria.
Access granted.
I got a right to refuse service to anyone. I do not do business with clanks. I doubt I'll find anything.
What a fucking night.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Je zakázáno zdržovat se na ulicích. Opakuji. Zákaz vycházení na ulici. Pořádkové opatření. Zákaz vycházení. Kvůli rostoucím nepokojům komplexu Titule byly pražské ulice uzavřeny. Nevycházejte ven.
Praxis, eh? Biocell.
Am I?
Bi
Get out of here, then.
I have everything I...
Perfectly safe.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
So are you a supporter then of United Nations resolution?
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new AUGs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Are you suggesting all my AUGs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you, all the AUGs we ever installed had registry codes, and they're not hard to trace.
I know my AUGs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these AUGs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orloff?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orloff is McFadden, and McFadden is Orloff. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the AUGs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
What are you trying to tell me, Seraph?
I'm sorry, Adam. There's not much more I can say. There's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. All I know is the deeper I dig, the more questions I have. Orloff might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it all means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
As you wish. Out of sight, out of mind.
My Interpol friend. It's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
The killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them Augs, all harvested. Just like Angela's gun.
So it's the same person doing all this, and you still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobodka, the old harvester, is supposed to be dead. Yet this killer seems to... little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. And what about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
Daria said she was in trouble. She was convinced that the killer had come after her. You know, I find you sniffing outside her door. It's a little strange, isn't it?
Right, because I'm the killer. You need to get some sleep, my friend. You're not thinking straight.
How'd you know she was in trouble?
I had a hunch. You know, any other cop would arrest you for breaking curfew right now. Or worse. Lucky for you, I'm not any other cop. Go, check on your little friend. I'll take a look around the building. Just try not to get caught.
I won't.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Regardless of augmented status, have been imprisoned by the Chinese government. In apparent execution for that act, vigilante hackers tied to the Juggernaut Collective have crashed the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. Yes, these are drone
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Access granted.
Where did that come from?
What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell.
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
I don't have much time, so you need to start talking fast. Daria's in grave danger. That's if she's even still alive. If there's something I need to know about her...
Trust me, there's no hurry. The further men like you stay away from Daria, the better it is for everyone. You should forget it.
Why men like me? Look, I know about the email you sent her. I know you performed some kind of surgery. Why was it so important for Daria to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Tai Yong Medical, big tech corporation. Do you know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
How exactly did you make people better?
We found a way to isolate specific character traits. The idea was to use neural implants with imprints of desirable traits from select individuals and insert them into others who were, how should I say, less gifted. Take a man like yourself, for example. Could have given you a sense of humor.
I'm funny enough as it is. Now how about you tell me what went wrong? Something obviously did.
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Tai Yong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I've been very patient so far. Too patient. That's about to change unless you start getting into details. What are you not telling me?
Look, I haven't had anything to do with this for years. Tai Young Medical contacted me and told me it was my responsibility because Daria was my patient. They implied that if Daria's story ever came to light, I would take all the blame.
So you're in this out of the goodness of your heart. What else?
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Tai Young had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Tai Young Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
Your pet project's been haunting the streets of Prague. She's been tearing people apart. Now I'm starting to think she wants to tear me apart. I'm sorry if all that inconveniences you, Doctor.
What is it you expect me to say? I followed procedures. The people who are really responsible for this, they're not the ones working in drugstores now.
Fine. So let's go after Tai Young.
Don't be naive.
You're really not helping your cause here. Give me something to work with. Tell me how to stop Daria.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know...
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do. She must be held accountable.
Maybe, but I still think you're hiding something.
Look, I'm the only one who can analyze the data and find out exactly what went wrong. To make sure this never happens again, please, you must agree to incapacitate Daria and remove the chip. Bring it back to me, and I promise you will be compensated.
We'll see.
Sign of the suspects! Wait there.
Now look.
What are you doing here?
I don't...
I headed a
How You... Dar... There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I don't think Daria's as responsible as you make her out to be. Taking her out and removing the chip is great for you. Gets rid of any evidence that might link her actions to your bungled experiment. But there's no way it's my only option. And there's no way Tai Young Medical would develop a sensitive technology like this without some kind of failsafe. I know you're holding something back.
Like what?
A weakness. An override. Something that allows me to talk to her without the influence of whatever it is you installed.
Well, there is an override phrase. Daria's been programmed to react to it with specific subconscious impulses that are designed to trigger a shutdown of the chip.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the first place?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Want Praxis, eh?
Что за хуй?
Attempt brute! Try to flank him! Stay low! We don't know what to do! It's going to be easy! Over.
Think we'll find anything?
That's suspicious.
I thought you were going to help me.
Tall, dark, and augmented. Over here.
Please, tell my grandson I love him. Please, tell my grandson.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry, before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
I need to know where he is first. How long ago did he leave here? Which way did he go?
You've got to be joking. We don't have time for all these questions. If he knows I spoke to you, he will kill me. Please, my ankle. Come closer. You must help me escape.
Not a chance. I know what you are. I came here to take down a killer, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Tall, dark, and augmented. Over here.
It is you.
Yes.
What?
He...
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Cipra installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come. Closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Sipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely, whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic word.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Augs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like, oh, victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobodka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
Svobodka didn't have a cause. He was a serial killer, acting out on impulses that he tried to couch in spiritual rhetoric. A way of convincing himself that his actions were justified, but they weren't. No amount of faith or abstraction makes it okay to dehumanize people the way he did.
No. No, it doesn't. But so what if you're right? So what that Svobodka's motivations cannot stand up to scrutiny? His actions, my actions, cannot be justified. Where does that leave me? If those others did not deserve to die, then I deserve to die.
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Sipra and Tai Yun.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Sipra and Tai Yun Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about the neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Yong Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Sipra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Yong Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person. I swear to you.
Take your time. Now nothing's going to happen.
Anomaly detected. Trace program access granted.
Two years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Yong Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened. Take your time. For now, nothing is going to happen. Can't be far. Nothing? Nothing? This is a waste of time. Nothing? Nothing? This is a waste of time.
Just a bit longer.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you got that right. The things I do for that vision. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Thai Young Leader. They said it would help people themselves. Though it was so long ago now. Another lifetime.
Yes, you remember everything you possibly can.
Yes, Nico, I need to get out of here.
Two years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Thai Young Medical. They said it would help people become better versions of themselves. Though it feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you found. Who was
Let me get a closer look.
I got you covered. Nothing? This is a waste of time.
Každého, koho
You shouldn't be outside tonight, Adam. Prague is no longer safe.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm looking at a police barricade right now.
They will not let you pass. But I can help with that. I suggest you take cover.
Eliza, what do you have in mind?
Now is your chance to get past them. Be careful, Adam. I do not want to lose you again.
Jensen, you still alive out there?
Yeah, just made it. Any luck with that search warrant?
State police aren't even taking my calls. I'm afraid you're on your own this time.
Story of my life. But I got it, don't worry. Miller, Valley owned most of the apartments surrounding the old theater, isn't that right?
Yeah, and they're very possessive of them. So if you're thinking of getting in that way,
It's gone a little further than just thinking.
then expect it to zip straight past peaceful negotiation the minute they see you.
I'm not sure, but I think I saw something.
They own most of the apartments surrounding the old theater, isn't that right?
Yeah, and they're very possessive of them. So if you're thinking of getting in that way,
It's gone a little further than just thinking.
then expect it to zip straight past peaceful negotiation the minute they see you.
Whoa. Shiny.
They own most of the apartments surrounding the old theater, isn't that right?
Yeah, and they're very possessive of them. So if you're thinking of getting in that way,
It's gone a little further than just thinking.
then expect it to zip straight past peaceful negotiation the minute they see you.
clients in 2 hours.
Jensen, you said Marchenko needed to finalize a deal, right?
With the Diwali, yeah. Not a lot to go on, I know.
Maybe not. But these guys are the best smugglers in the world, which means a lot of forged paperwork. You might find something in the Kingpin's office.
Assuming I can find that.
Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Be glad when this is all over.
After riots in the center of the Silver complex, prejudice allegedly perpetrated by Master
Family is fractured.
Access granted.
Lord, but I know is he work for me. They will pay triple what we agreed. That is good for business.
But at what cost?
This is not a fucking discussion!
We can still limit the damage. We do not know what these people have planned for London. It could be...
I decide how the Valley do business, not you.
But it's Orchid. You want to deliver to the Safe Harbor Convention before it even begins.
Do you have shit in your ears as well as between them? Get the fuck out of my office! Now!
Miller, Archenko is targeting the Safe Harbor Convention in London.
Jesus, there'll be hundreds of people there.
How fast can we move on this?
I'll warn London and get Mac working on a mobilization plan for them. You go home. We'll contact you there.
Alex, they are hitting London. Miller, Archenko is targeting the Safe Harbor Convention in London.
Jesus, there'll be hundreds of people there.
How fast can we move on this?
I'll warn London and get Mac working on a mobilization plan for them. You go home. We'll contact you there.
Alex, they are hitting London. The Valley agreed to smuggle weapons and the Orchid into Apex Center.
Fuck, man, they want to take out Brown. He's their real target. I've been digging into him.
Get to my apartment. Explain it to me there.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Ah!
Rex is that?
I have everything I need.
We got it wrong, Adam. Brown's financial prospects aren't as rosy as we thought. He stands to lose trillions if the Human Restoration Act passes.
That doesn't make any sense. Millions of displaced Augs will flock to Rabia.
And the city can't support them. Brown's been selling investors a pumped-up dream. The corporate city-state where like-minded individuals govern themselves while investors reap the profits.
Kinda goes against the idea of a one-world government.
Yeah, and if it fails, so does Brown, the Santo Group, and anyone else standing in the Illuminati's way.
So they want to kill a competing dream and get rid of their augmented problem in one fell swoop. I take it Brown's been campaigning against the act?
And unlike Rucker, he's got the money and influence to stop it.
What about the orchid sample I gave you? Marchenko's smuggling more of it into London. Were you able to analyze it?
Believe it or not, it's not a bioweapon, or at least it's not meant to be one. It's a genome editing drug. It targets the gene linked to Aug rejection and deletes it.
Aug rejection? Must be why I survived. I don't suffer from rejection syndrome.
What? Are you telling me you don't need neuropozyne? Shit, man, that makes you...
1 in a billion, I know. The orchid, Alex. You said it's not meant to be a bioweapon.
Right. The files you and Janus got from the vault, they suggest Reed's team isn't finished making the orchid yet. It's supposed to replace the deleted gene with an artificial one that's deadly. Darknet posted pictures of Rucker's corpse. If Brown and all his elegant, fancy potential investors get dosed, and Picus News broadcasts images of them, it's gonna send a message.
I'd better warn Miller. You can stay here if you want, till the curfew's lifted.
I can take care of myself. But when the task force hits London, keep me in the loop. Not sure what I can do, but... good luck, Adam. And be safe.
Miller, it's Jensen. Is McCready still working on that plan for London? Because there's another variable to consider.
You can brief him yourself at TF-29's airfield. We're mobilizing.
Copy that. How do I get there?
Damn. curfew's still in effect. So if you can get to Chicane's place, he'll fly you to it. Miller out. Damn curfew's still in effect. So if you can get to Chicane's place... he'll fly you to it. Miller out.